a little bit of love and care in everything you do. ¿Por qué? Your love will shine in your eyes.
And now that we're here, I'm gonna get this off my chest. We feeling great, yeah, I know that we are blessed. I'm making sure my people good till I lay to rest. Sharing the light, yeah, I do my best.
50 years of music. Here we go.
Yeah.
Your spirit up and shine.
Hello, friends. Welcome to Shine with Marilena Cortez and Mark Sedgwick. Today we are super excited because we have a very special guest that we love, admire, and we are just so happy to have Suni Paz. Let's first welcome Mark Sedgwick and the quote of the day.
What's up, my friends? It's good to be back, and we're glad to have Suni Paz today. Kind of recognizing her for the award she received, the National Heritage Fellowship Award, which is a very prestigious award that we're very honored to have her on the show and very proud. All right.
Felicidades, Suni, por tu premio, te lo bien merecido.
Yes.
Muchas gracias, porque eso fue un premio, una sorpresa para mí increíble.
Yes.
Pero bueno, son 50 años cantando, escribiendo, etcétera. Así que mucha creación, pero es increíble que lo hayan de pronto no solo reconocerlo, pero además premiarlo. Eso me dejó sorprendida, helada y contentísima, feliz.
Yep.
Yes, we are happy for you too because we love you. We love the music and all of it. You know, I met you at a conference years ago, through actually you were there with other friends that I know you worked with and collaborated, Alma Florada and Isabel Campoy, and you guys just fill my heart with energy and so much positive ideas to take back to my classroom and share with the students. So it's just been an honor to know you and to see you as well get finally an award that you deserve through the National Heritage Fellowship Award. So muchas felicidades.
Yeah.
Mark, what is the quote for today that we're going to be focusing on today?
Yeah, so the main topic is just about creating and innovating through adversity, right? This adversity that we're all kind of facing, you know, and I really wanted to talk about this today because Suni has created so much. Like you said, she's been doing it for 50 years, creating music and creating impact among kids' lives in the world, you know, in the nation. And, you know, it's very impressive stuff and very amazing work that she's done. So, yeah, so the quote of the day is actually the quote, and I got the quote from the little booklet that we have in the front of our house with the quotes. It actually matched perfect with the topic that we're going to be talking about today, Mom. So the quote is, it is not about the length of life, but more about the depth of life, right? And that's kind of what we want to be talking about today is the depth of the relationships that we have, and, you know, whether it's with love and with kindness, you know, that's also what we want to be sharing today, right?
And talking about relationships, right next to Suni is her wonderful son, Juan, who is also joining us. So everybody say hi to Juan. Hola, Juan. Nice to see you. Suni had the honor and talking about going, not just living life to live long and you know, and have a life, but going deeply into our lives, analyzing and being thankful and grateful for who we have. And one of the greatest gifts we have as moms is our children, our sons and daughters who are part of our life, and how impactful we can be in their lives by us leading the way, you know, and continue to shine and be a light in the world. So I love it, and I am so honored and thankful that Juan is here with us. Mark, I'm going to let you have a conversation with them right now because my phone is lower. I got to go connect my phone, but can you please, yes, go ahead and start the questions, please.
Yeah, absolutely. So to start things off, you know, me and my mom have been doing a lot of, you know, collaborating. We're doing this podcast right now, collaborating, and you know, she's really kind of instilled in me and you know, my grandma and all my family and just through my life experiences that I've kind of realized, like, a big thing in life and something so important to pursue is shining your light with others, you know, shining the kindness of your heart and shining whatever your gift that maybe God gave you, sharing it with the world so maybe they can be inspired to share theirs with the world, right? So, and I've really noticed that's something that you have really excelled at. And you know, I want to talk about how you and your son have maybe done a bit of that in y'all's time here.
Yeah. Well, to me, I had the great honor that I don't know if many mothers have, but it's like you with Mark. I have a duet with Juan Cruz, my son. He's the eldest, and then I have Ramiro, that is the one that follows, and then I have a stepdaughter, Shorsten, that I was with me since she was 12 years old, and so it's my baby. So I have a girl.
Yes.
Now the incredible thing is that these two boys, Juan and Ramiro, have played with me in concerts since they were 7 years old. So
How
they have been
beautiful.
playing with me, creating with me. Juan and myself wrote the song together, and won an award for the song that we wrote. Okay.
There she means she does
Wow.
most of the concerts, but here and there we've been doing.
Yeah,
something.
he's not in my concerts now, now, but they are behind me because
Behind the scenes.
Yeah, because Juan plays the piano.
Yeah.
This enormous thing I have behind me is Juan's
Actually,
piano.
we're in the music studio right now.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Hello, hello. Can you guys hear me?
And plays the piano.
There we go.
So anytime
So it's a beautiful collaboration.
in my recordings is Juan.
Qué bonito. I love it. Pues I'm so happy that you're there for her, Juan. But as you know, having a mother that believes in you or that is creating with you is priceless. It's rare to find. And I'm honored to have Mark on my side as well, because he's the tech guy. He's the one that does the recordings and the editing. So I love that. How lucky we are, Suni, to have
We are very lucky. I say
who
that.
have raised kids like our kids, right? But
Yeah.
it doesn't come easy. You know, there's a way always, a road full of challenges, full of issues and trials. And that's what today's quote is about. It's about how do we deal with these problems? How do we tackle them? And how do we come out of every trial stronger? And you've done that through the music, because you send a lot of love messages out there. And that kind of filters down to our kids, you know? And I'm sure Juan has a heart of gold as well, just like you, Suni, because
Yeah.
I feel it.
I want to say,
Yes.
I think Juan can relate that, like, you know, just being very grateful for the blessing of a wonderful mother, you know, that has maybe inspired us in so many ways, right?
Absolutely.
I'm sure sometimes I'm in his nerves. You know, that's also, it's a peculiarity of mothers. We want things our way, and they do their way. And so,
Yeah, but it's all about communication and also having those discussions that, hey, I've had Mark sometimes say, hey, Mom, what do you think about doing it this way? Or how about if we don't do that? Because, and then he has an idea, but he always doesn't just tell me not to do something, but he gives me a solution. And that is exactly the way I help them grow up. You know, it was like, te voy a dar una nalgadazo, voy a aventar la chancla. None of that. It was always, let's communicate, let's talk, and let's solve these problems. And your music, Suni, does that so many times. I mean, every lyric I hear, I was ready to take it to my classroom because I was like, man, the words, the kids need to hear this. It could be either a story that you're telling, it could be something about a topic that you're sharing also. So it's just so well-rounded.
Yeah, so I want to say something as well. I was going to ask you guys a question regarding that. So what inspires you to create so much? You know, is it, and I want to start from maybe the beginning, Suni.
I would like to answer that. That's very important because people ask me, sometimes they have asked me, how do you were inspired to do this? Well, I started, of course, when I was in Chile, I have a program on television. and it was about Atahualpa Yupanqui, which is one of my greatest heroes. I learned all his repertoire. When I wrote my book, I put a saying from him. He's a very wise man. And Atahualpa is the one that was my mentor, so to speak. And he was the person that I was always listening to. And I learned all his repertoire and I sang all his songs. But he talked about El Indiecito Dormido, the little Indian crossing the Andes, falling asleep in the snow. A very, very moving thing for me. I didn't know anything about that. Then it talks about the farm worker that is getting old and is crossing the Andes in his horse and telling, I am getting old, realizing he's getting old because it's much more difficult, this crossing. Things like that. I know he showed me a world that he didn't even know that existed. That was the first one. And then when I came to the United States, I said, if I don't sing, I die. So I had to start singing. So I asked a teacher that I met by pure chance practically in the street. I met her pure chance. I said, do you teach? Yes. Do you have any book that teach about Latin America? Oh yes, of course we use it. Can you lend it to me? So I'm going to write what you are teaching, I'm going to write it all with songs. How about that? And I follow her curriculum, inventing or creating or taking songs from Brazil, from Argentina, from Mexico, forget it, of course. And then I began singing. The first time I sang in her classroom, the kids showed me the way because they were doing things what I was singing with lana. How do you say lana? Wool. And with the wool, they were doing something. And I said, what these kids are doing while I'm singing? What are they doing? They look at me. They listen with an intensity that was amazing. And then at the end, when I finished the concert, they gave it to me and they say, these are ojitos de agua. And these ojitos de agua, I want to tell you that my mom is from Jalisco. My papa is from, and they would tell me the origins. And then a kid came and did something with his little hands and showed me, and he said, my father is Cherokee. And I said, Cherokee. I was very, very ignorant about the indigenous cultures. So I said, okay, time to educate myself. I got a book and I learned about every Indian tribe that was here in the United States. And they are the owners of the land finally. And I learned about it. And
you know what? I listened to your music and I heard a lot of sort of Indian kind of tribal feel with the flutes and all that beautiful stuff. I was really inspired.
Exactly. Exactly. Yes, yeah. Because I am a daughter of those cultures. And then after that, the kids guide me. They say, I said to them, I don't know anything about that. I'm going to go and study anthropology. And I went and took a course in anthropology, entered college, and I started studying anthropology just to understand where these kids were coming from and their culture. So if I got finally a master in education and languages, etc., it was thanks to the children, because the children were the ones that showed me, you're a little bit ignorant, it seems. You don't know anything about us. Okay, let me teach you about us. So, and I began studying formally. So I owe everything to those children. Really.
Oh, that's beautiful. But you know, what's beautiful is that you were also paying attention. You were listening and you were caring, because there's so many teachers that are in a classroom and they never even make the time because it's so busy. You know, I know teaching is so demanding and they ask us for, you know, hundreds of things and projects and assessments that we don't have the time to make those connections. But when we do make those connections, they actually inspire us and teach us so many lessons and so many things about life. And And I love that about you, that you actually took time to listen and you show that you care. And now here you are, getting got an award and everything.
Yeah, and I had to do the same with the children that were the black children in the classrooms, because I didn't know anything about them in this country. I didn't know anything about, nothing at all about them. And I needed to learn.
How has that served you, knowing more about the children?
Oh, it makes a big difference, you know.
How has it made a difference knowing the children and their culture and all that kind of stuff? How has it served you in maybe creating music or connecting with the children more?
Exactly. For the black children in the classrooms, I didn't have any songs whatsoever. So I borrowed from Brazil, because of course Brazil has a lot of in their culture. And so I said, okay, Brazilian music. For that, I learned Portuguese. I learned the songs and I sang them, and then I began transposing the song into Spanish, and then I began creating my own songs.
Yeah,
you know. I wrote a song about Kwanzaa, which, because every time that came Christmas, I only sang Christmas songs. So I wrote a song for the Jewish children that I have in New York, which I have many in my classroom. And then for all the black children that were there, I said, hey, Kwanzaa is their celebration. Write a song about Kwanzaa. So I wrote a song about Kwanzaa, I wrote a song about the Jewish children, and we danced the hora, supposedly in the classroom, going to one side and the other one. And it was very cold, it was in the middle of winter, we were freezing. So in New York, imagine, it was cold. And so we were dancing, and people didn't believe it when the other teachers passed my classroom and said, what are they doing? They are dancing the hora. Oh, I didn't know she was Jewish. No, I'm not Jewish, but it doesn't matter. I don't have to be Jewish to sing and dance the hora.
I know, and that is so beautiful. You know, I wish more people would focus on learning from one another instead of trying to divide and say, you know, only this kind of color matters or only this kind of culture matters. It's like we're all in the world together. We need to learn to get along. We need to celebrate one another and stop all this nonsense and fighting that's going around the world. So
I said, I don't want to die without knowing as many languages as I can. So I learned, Spanish. I studied it. I studied Spanish. Not only I knew it from birth, but I studied Spanish. I studied French, and now, believe it or not, I'm studying Italian. In this moment, I don't want to die without knowing Italian. So
Pues sí, because you're part Italian, so you have to celebrate those roots and also be
roots, exactly. So
yes.
It's just necessary. I found it is important, and I said, if you can learn more than one language, it's such a blessing. You know, even if you look ¿cómo se llama? When I was living in California in Glendale, there was one language that I was hearing all the time for the people that were there, and I learned two words only, 2 words. But those 2 words, when I didn't have any money at all, and I entered and I was hungry, and I had forgotten my purse at home, didn't have a penny. I had to eat something, so I entered and I count my coins. I have $2, that's all I have. And I said to the lady, I did my greeting in her language. This moment, don't have him. In this moment, I don't remember. I have to say, body loose. Thank you. Body loose. That's all. Body loose. That's all I knew in her language, nothing else.
Wow.
And I entered, I said, body loose. And she looked at me and said, body loose, body loose, body loose. She continued, it's a blessing for your day. And she considered that to be such an extraordinary thing that she gave me sandwiches like this, and I kept saying, don't put anything, I only have $2. And she kept, she gave me a pail with everything you can think, drink, coffee, juice, sandwiches, chocolates, everything with two words.
Wow.
Adios. Thank you, Juan, for remembering.
Sure.
Was she there with you?
Have a
Did he,
memory. Huh?
or did you? Were you there, Juan? Is that what you remember, or was it a
No.
story that?
I heard the story before.
Ah,
But, you know,
What is the name of the
I guess
culture
it's
that
easy to
doesn't
forget
hear?
things like that. You know.
yes, yes.
There
Oh,
are
so glad you remember
Armenians.
because that's beautiful.
Armenians.
Yeah.
They were Armenians.
yeah, you
And
know,
that's
Glendale has a
all.
lot of
And it
Armenians.
was funny because one day they stopped me in the street. They thought I was Armenian. I have dark hair and I look
Wow.
Armenian. The Armenians take me for Armenian. The Jewish people take me for being Jewish, and they speak in the language when I was in college. The Arabics now, and I still have very dark hair. They spoke to me in Arabic. They were totally convinced I am Arabic. So
That's
you know,
beautiful because you can transcend through all those cultures and all those
somehow
representation.
I respect them and I love them. I guess they read that, and so
I think
they
you have a very
immediately put
think
me in their bosom, with love
Yeah.
and care.
I think your open heart is very obvious and very almost contagious as well. You know, whenever they see that and they see the respect and the love you have for all the cultures, you know, I think it's very obvious, and I think that has served you very well in your life. You know, quite obviously.
Yeah, in Chile, I started learning the alphabet, the Arabic alphabet, but I quit because it was so difficult. That at that moment I was very busy trying to raise my children with my work in advertising. So I said, I can't now deal with this Arabic. It's too hard. But my favorite singer is Fairuz, which I recommend because she has the most extraordinary voice I ever heard. I'm
I'll go check her
completely in
out.
love with Fairuz.
I have another question for you, Suni. So I saw that you've created, and correct me if I'm wrong, have you created nearly 24 albums? Is that correct?
Yeah, well, what happened is my first contract with Alma Florada, which Alma Florada and Isabel Campoy, I have them in a picture like this because we got an award together. So with them, first contract I have with Alma Florada, it was for 49 songs. I had to write 40 songs all by myself, and then the rest we were going to take from different
Collaborations?
that they were already made, you know,
Oh,
and the children's lore, from the children's lore. So I began, she brought a book on my house, and she said, well, I have a little song, you know, she's very humble. And she said, I have some little songs. And she gave me a book. And I grabbed the book and I said, I look at it and I said, but who wrote the song? This is, to say something, this is, tell me a rhythm from Latin America. This is a corrido. But this is a perfect corrido. And I sang it. And she said, oh, incredible. She took a little recorder. She was prepared. She took a little recorder. She said, well, we sing it again. I'm recording it. I recorded that. And then I sang another song. No, I just turned the pages, and it was one song after the other one.
Because you're a natural. You were a natural.
But because her lyrics were stunning.
Yeah, and she's a great writer. You know, she's the one that inspired me to write children's books as well, at least to actually do it at the conference.
So my first recording, my first contract with Addison Wesley was for 40 songs that were original. I wrote the music and the lyrics were Alma Flor. And after that, we continued collaborating until now. Isn't
that amazing? You just happen to meet the right person at the right moment, the right time. And then I think when you do good things, Suni, and when you're doing the right things in this planet, God, the universe and God will align you to meet the right people, right?
Exactly.
At the perfect moment.
Yeah,
Yes.
and
And
then
I always tell
what-
my son that.
And then who appears? Appears Isabel Campoy, also a writer, fantastic writer. Now her books are being put in Chinese, in Japanese, in all languages because she's a phenomenal writer. She gave me her lyrics and I write this incredible, beautiful song. And I always said, it's very easy to write for you because, you know, this Almaflor and Isabel both write anything that you read from them has the music inside. It comes with the music inside. I hear it. It's so poetic. It's so well aligned, so perfect. So it's for music, you know. And so then comes, and then comes.
What a perfect combination of.
And then comes Juan,
I love.
and he helped me. You know, Juan, I have this song. Can we put it in some recording? I couldn't forget, of course. So he helped me, you know. And then comes Ramiro. I go to Los Angeles and I sit with Ramiro, and he has also a recording studio. And we sit with Ramiro. Ramiro is my ¿cómo se llama? My
Tu hijo pequeño.
everything. He's sings with me and two voices. So every time that my recording has two voices, is Ramiro. Ramiro and I.
He's also a web designer, artist.
And what?
Web designer, artist, photographer.
Man, you're so lucky, Suni. You got not just one son, you got two super powerful kids. Que ya están grandes, pero they're still gonna always be your little treasures, ¿verdad? Porque eso nunca cambia. Nuestros hijos siempre serán nuestros pequeños solecitos que nos ayudan a brillar.
Exactamente, divinos. And I got one picture that I got because I love it, and I think I got it here. I don't know, it disappeared from me. Where is it?
Okay, guys. Hey, really quick. I have one more question, but we do need to end it in a few minutes because it's going to cut us off of Zoom here in a few. So
Okay.
I'm going to ask one more question here, and any final words we'll ask after that, and then we'll go ahead and do the song, and then we'll end it there. Okay, sound good?
Okay.
All right. So I have recently got into creating music, and you know, a lot of people out there. Yeah, you know, I like to write poetry and stuff like that, and I like to put it into sort of a rap form, and I like to do it over you know, very catchy and powerful beats. And I like to have instruments like the flute and piano within the beats as well to give it that spice, you know, that flavor of all that culture and stuff and all that kind of good stuff, right? So what would you say to a young guy like me or to all the audience members listening who want to get into music, you know, and you know, I really want to impact people's lives. You know, I don't want to just create music for the money or the recognition or things like that. I really genuinely want to share positive messages because I do believe I have a gift of music and feel, like you said, like once I hear words or I put a poem together, I can kind of put the message and the flow together just listening to the beat, right? So what would you say to younger people like that?
Well, I would say, first of all, is you have this, I don't know what you call this, the Zoom, the virtual. You have
Platform.
you have a lot of power with that because I am a total ignoramus and I never did any publicity for me. Other people did it, thank goodness, because I was useless for that and I am still are. And if it weren't for one that helped me with the computer, I'm finished. But you have the power because you have this virtual world that it belongs to you. So use it for your songs. Not only you, yes, it's wonderful that you interview people and things like that, but you have to start with a song of yours, put a song of yours in the middle, put a song of yours in the end, and make up another program with your mom, especially introducing you to all the songs that you write. My son Ramiro has just put two new albums that are going to come out on October 6th. That is his birthday. They're going to come out. It's called Where Rivers Cross. And it's an incredible, I already heard some of the songs are unbelievable. He's a singer like you. He also writes his own music like you. He's now in what is called in country, more country style of music, completely different, but and he uses some of the Latin American rhythms. But, you know, do that. And the other thing I'm going to say is kind of weird, I'll let you know. But I did it for many, many years. And is sing, I was singing in hospitals in Los Angeles. I was constantly, every week, going to the children's hospital and to another hospital that was also for children, and to very famous hospitals in Los Angeles. And I would go there and sing, bring a program, be my guitar and sing. And sing for the kids that were with cancer, sing for the kids that were dying, sang with kids that were, the parents were in Mexico, they were here, they had like people, substitutes that were taking care of them, but they were not visited all the time, or they were, the parents were away, or they were working all the time. The question was the kids very alone, very lonely. I would bring songs and I would give them some little instruments and they would sing with me, or they would not sing and just stare at me.
Hey, Suni, so we have less than 1 minute left on the Zoom, so we need to end it here. But I will definitely take that advice. Okay, so go ahead and finish it off.
I love your advice.
Can I say one little song?
What's going on, guys? So we did get cut off, but we do want to finish with some powerful words, so we don't finish it rushed. We want to share the value, share the light with you guys. So just to finish it off with a few final words, you know, just regarding that topic of, it's not about the length of life, but the depth. You know, the whole message is, you know, in life we have to survive, right? We have to have money, we have to have food to survive and all these things, but we don't just want that. We want to thrive in life, right? Surviving versus thriving. You know, I think in order to thrive, we need to find good, like, you know, the messages I got from Suni was, we need to find good mentors. You know, we have to be very open-minded, so open-minded that we're even willing to learn from the children around us, right? So just those kinds of things, and you know, learning from history, learning from the culture, honoring the people around you, honoring especially your elders, you know, honoring those people around you, because they have a wealth of knowledge that you can learn from, that can serve you and help you along the way. So those are my words. Mom, do you have any you want to add on to?
Of course. I want to invite all the parents, moms, dads, whether they're single or with another spouse, that we have the power to make our kids or break them. So why not choose to help them, inspire them by our stories? Our actions speak louder than words. Our love, our heart, our mind needs to be connected to with our children, because they come out to us so fragile, so little, and why not guide them and love them and take them along? Be a light in the world. Yes, Mark. And it's not easy, especially if there's a lot of single moms out there like we were. It's not easy, but you know what, when we make that choice and that commitment to be a light, not just for the world, it starts being a light at home with your little ones, with your children. So right now, during COVID, during the pandemic, doing all this craziness around us in the world, why not choose to simply start at home with all this time you're spending with your children? Instead of spanking them, yelling at them, sending them to a quiet room to watch TV or to watch a video, why don't you start doing things with them? Taking them out for a walk, singing a song, learning to play an instrument. You never know where this might take you. So I hope we have inspired you to continue to love, shine, and to be a light in the world. Until next time, we'll see you soon. I'm gonna leave you with my beautiful friend, Suni Paz, singing a song. I get choked up. I was so honored that God put you in my life, Suni, and continue to shine. Congratulations on your award, and may God continue to give us the knowledge and the strength to continue to inspire our youth. Te quiero mucho.
Yo también los quiero mucho. Muchas gracias por todo y por esta oportunidad de estar con ustedes y con el público. Y también un saludo a todos los músicos, all the musicians that play with me in my life. 50 years of music. Here we go.
Yeah.
I wrote this one to say goodbye.
Yours, Paz.
Pon un poquito de amor y corazón en todo lo que hagas. Put a little bit of love and care in everything you do. ¿Por qué? Your love will shine in your eyes. Amor brillará en tus ojos. Tu amor brillará en tus ojos. Pon un poquito de amor y corazón en todo lo que hagas. Pon un poquito de amor y corazón en todo lo que hagas. Tu amor brillará en tus ojos. Canten conmigo. Tu
Ay,
amor
tu amor
brillará en
brillará
tus
en los ojos.
Tu amor brillará en tus
En los ojos. Qué hermoso, Suni, qué lindo que sigas cantando y llevando todas estas canciones positivas a través de tu amor y tu voz tan linda que siempre transmite ese amor. We love you and continue to shine and be a light in the world. Until next time, we'll see you. Un beso.
Gracias, querido, y gracias a la mamá tan preciosa. Gracias por todo.
Te queremos mucho.
Son unos divinos, son amorosos. Gracias.
Hasta la próxima, Suni. Vas a ver, nos conectamos para otro tema y especialmente para inspirar a la gente para que sean mejores padres y madres en sus casas.
Y yo quiero escuchar a Mark también, así que es muy importante. Yo quiero oír a Mark y quiero oír su música, quiero oír todo lo que tú haces.
Sí, es lo que vamos a hacer. Y gracias por tu consejo, porque ahora ya le dije que ahora tiene que empezar a ir a los hospitales y a los lugares que tenga que ir a compartir sus canciones.
Sí, va a tener que ser cuando pare un poquito todo este momento de pandemia, pero cuando pare todo este pandemia, la gente va a querer escucharte, es muy importante, y tú se ve que tienes un corazón así de grande, ¿no? Entonces, muy importante.
Un placer conocerte, Juan, que Dios te bendiga. Y qué bonito que también te tiene ella a ti, así como yo tengo a Mark, y que podemos hacer cosas grandes gracias a ustedes. Los queremos.
A ti.
Cuídense. Que Dios bendiga.
Que le
Bye.
vaya muy bien.
Take care.
Gracias. Thank you very much. Muchas gracias.
Hey, Suni. So you ask and you shall receive. You said you wanted to hear a little piece of my poem, so I wanted to share a little piece. All right, you know, I got my mom here. This is post-production, so here we go. All right, I'm gonna start a little beat here. Living my life, so I choose not to stress. And now that we're here, I'm gonna get this off my chest. We feeling great, yeah, I know that we are blessed. I'm making sure my people good till I lay to rest. Sharing the light, yeah, I do my best. I'm going all in till I got nothing left. Marathon mindset till my last breath. And then it goes, I just got to ask, how can you defeat the one collecting keys, the quickest on the feet, the one that's speaking deep to create a masterpiece? And then it goes, I just got to ask who you want to be and where you want to go and what you want to see. And that's it.
Woo! Good job, Mark. So I love the advice that Suni gave to you to actually go out and share, because when you don't share, those ideas just stay with you. And when we go out there to share, whether we get paid or not, and we do it with a true heart and the true passion, Mark, things just start to unfold. And that is exactly what I did years ago when I first wrote my first story. You know, I had no audience. I had, except you and Alexis were my first audience. You know, the first Annoying Little Brother was born to inspire you too. And that's what I wanted at that moment. You know, I want to inspire your sister to be the best sister she could be for you. And I wanted you to be the best sister, the best brother that you could be for her. So when I did that, and then I decided to go and share the book because I noticed kids were thirsty for a topic like that. And I started going into the schools. Little by little, the doors began to open. So I love her advice about going out to the hospitals. I did that many times. I volunteer at the Shriners, at different hospitals here in Houston, Ronald McDonald House. sharing the book, sharing the stories, and those open a new adventure and a new, for me, opportunities for me to travel around the United States. So guess what? When you give with true passion, when you give with your heart, and you really invest with love, on all of your projects, the results will be incredible. Yeah. And so I really feel, and you know what? It's not about the money for me. My results are more about the emails I get years later from students that say, hey, thank you, Ms. Cortez, for sharing that book. You know, I became a better brother. Or thank you, Ms. Cortez, for sharing the book because I had not spoken with my brother or my sister years. And I've shared these little emails with you guys of how powerful a message can be when it's given with love and with truth and honesty and transparency. And these times are times where we need to actually let that shine glow. You have a gift and you need to share with the world. And any young person out there who has a gift needs to be able to let it out and share with the world. And we have this new platform of Zoom and the virtual world where we can actually share it at any moment with anybody at any time of the day. So it's beautiful, it's priceless.
Yeah, and you know what? A few minutes ago when I called you and said, you know what, she did request for me to do it, so I should do it. And then we hung up and we were going to get back on the Zoom call. And I was about to call you back and say, you know what, Mom, let's not do that. Let's not do it, you know. Maybe it'll be a little weird, you know, but I conquered that. You know, I want to share the words that I have written, you know, the poetry, the gifts I feel that I have. You know, I think that's so important. Make sure you don't hold back, my friends. Do not hold back. When that little voice in your head says, oh, maybe I shouldn't, do it anyways and see what happens, right? What's the worst that can happen? Somebody says your poetry sucks. That's okay. I created it from my heart. That's what matters, right?
Or you can get that one kid or that one young person or that adult that you are going to inspire and change your life completely. So don't be afraid to share your light. Don't be afraid to just continue to radiate those gifts that God gave to you, and you never know where it's going to go and how it's going to impact one, two, or the world. So with those words being said, let's continue to be a light in the world, continue to shine bright, and during these turbulent times that we're facing, come out stronger with a bigger, brighter light that really is going to impact your family, your community, your state, your country, and the world. Until next time, guys. Any other words, Mark?
Be blessed. Take care, my friends. We'll see y'all soon. Make sure y'all subscribe and comment any questions down below. Adios.
Adios.
All right, Mama.
Your spirit out.